Hey everyone, it's Adele and Ava from Just Say Scrap for Close to My Heart, and we are here with Technique Tuesday number 123. So today we are going to be taking our spinner cards to a new level by adding them to flip-flaps. So we will show you what we mean in the video.
Alright, so today we are going to be doing the spinner cards again with the thin cuts and stuff, but we are adding in a new stamp today. This is the I Choose You stamp. So it has the stamp and the thin cuts. As you can see, I've basically pre-cut everything. That's the stamp right there. And as you can see, I've kind of put the card together a little bit just to make this easier, because today we are actually going to be putting this into a flip flap. So I just wanted to show you what it looks like when it's still apart. Remember your base part of your spinner card like we talked about last week. So you've got the two insides and then the spinning wheel. And then this is the cover, the front of the card. So you've got your discs, wheel, front of your card. And what I have here is the I Choose You card, basically all stamped, but I wanted to show you how I put it together. So I'm going to take our thin 3D foam tape. You can see the difference because you see how thin that is. And I'm going to just be taking thin strips and putting them on the back of these things so we can pop them on our card. So actually, I've done this in the past with the other one. What I accidentally did was I put this down already, but you see this outline here? Sometimes it's not the easiest thing to get it onto the thin cut itself. So what I did, I actually stamped it very well this time, but what I did last time was I took our brand new raspberry shimmer brush here, and always make sure that you have a scrap piece of paper to make sure that it's not coming out too much. But what I did was I just very lightly went around the edge of the thin cut. Because I had messed up the stamp, I went over it twice and I had a few different lines, and I figured, hey, well, why don't I do this? It will define the outside of this a little bit more. And then I'm also giving my card this awesome little shimmer effect. And as you can see, now we've got this really cool color. All right, so now our pop is all together. And we also have to put together our spinner like we normally would. So we do have these new craft containers, which is the circular container right here, which is awesome for things like brads or anything that you really have. So remember, we also have silver brads now. So remember to put together your spinner card. You're going to have your two discs. You're going to take a brad and you're going to put it through the one disc, through the actual wheel, and then we are going to go through the other disc. And then you're going to open it up. And now you have your spinner. Really, really easy. To put the spinner on, remember, you are also going to want to use the thin 3D foam tape. We showed this last week. If you want more explanations, go back to last week's video and you will hear Mom's explanation of our take on Close to My Heart's directions. And I'm only going to take the top two off first so I can line it up with my spinner card. And for this one, because we had to actually flip the front of the card, so the front of the card usually is on the top, for this we had to flip it, so when I was actually stamping these stamps on the spinner itself, I had to make sure that they were going downwards because that's where my slot is going to be. Otherwise, if it was this way, they would be upside down. So we made sure of that. And we also, while we've been doing classes and learning little techniques about this, we've learned that you have to put your arrows and the spin me part of the card on the way outside, so that way it actually shows. So look, now you've got this cute little spinner. Did I do it right?
You did perfect.
Woohoo! That's really cute. We've also done it where we have this part actually popped up like these, but it takes a lot longer, and I honestly think this looks good, right? Mm-hmm. So then you've got that on there, you've got the piece here, and then you need to take your thick 3D foam tape, and that's stuck together. Come out. It's very sticky, as you can see. There we go. Got my thick 3D foam tape here. And we are going to put that on the four corners because we've got too thin on the inside. So we've got to make it thick enough that it doesn't hit the spinner. So since we are doing this in a flip flap today, you can see I have it mounted on a 4x6 piece of paper because we're going to be using a 4x6 flip flap. And before I do anything, I am actually going to just put it into the flip flap. Also, while it's in the flip flap, I will remind you of what colors I actually did use. So the raspberry obviously is what I used for the shimmer brush, and I also used it for the base, the outline, and the top, and the hearts and the spin me part. I used the Pixie here for the 10 cents, the You're Sweet and the Hug Me one. The wisteria is the purple that you see, this beautiful wisteria, and also my background paper is wisteria. And then I used the ballerina for the underlayer part in the gumball machine, or whatever you want to call it. So those are the colors that I used in this card, and obviously this is White Daisy, and this is actually linen. So I now have my Spin Me in here, but I can't spin it because it's inside of the flip flap here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a marker. I just happen to have an Expo marker, or you can take a Sharpie. And I'm going to just make a little notch as to where I need to cut my flip flap. So what I'm going to do here to cut this is that I'm either going to use something like the thumb notch punch, which you've seen us use in the past, which has the thumb notch, which would fit perfectly in there. This is an old tool. We do have one left, so if you do want it from us, let us know. You can use something like a circle punch. That's what this is. This is our 1-inch circle punch. Or what I'm going to use is you can actually use a stitched circle as well. So I'm going with the stitched circle because look at that. It lines up perfectly with the stitches of the card itself. So I think that's going to look really cool if I do that. So before I actually even put it through the Cuttlebug, what I'm going to do is I want to make sure that my stitches on here line up with the stitches on my card. You don't have to be this precise, but I like to be very precise, don't I, Mom?
Yes, you do.
So I'm going to take some of the washi tape that we've got here, and I'm going to washi tape my thin cut to the flip flap. Got my washi tape ready. Obviously, remember to take this out of your flip flap, otherwise you will be cutting through it, which is not what we want. So I may need to just take my scissor because our page protectors are insanely thick, but just take my scissor and kind of help it a little bit. It mostly cut through, just that bottom layer that needs a little bit of help. But this is, hey, guiding me along. There we go.
So if you want to put it through twice.
Yeah, you could probably put it through twice. I was just too lazy. So the stitch actually comes off. Oops. But that's fine. But see, look, now you've got that hole in your flip flap. And when you're putting it back into your flip flap, make sure that you are actually going all the way through like that. And ta-da! Now you have a spinner inside of your flip flap. So you've just made your flip flap interactive. Ain't that neat?
Yes, it is. I think it's a cool idea.
You're welcome. I had a good idea. Yay!
Yes, you did.
So that is today's activity. And go have fun with your new spinner cards and your flip flops.
And that's Technique Tuesday. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoy. I hope you're not shivering like Mom is right now.
Ooh.
Isn't this a cute little shaker card?
It is.
Shaker card. Spinner card.
Spinner card. It is. It is.
He spins.
Spin,
It's very
spin.
cute. And we love it in the flip flap. You can do it in any size
Mhm.
that you want. But just make sure that you don't use anything smaller than a 4x4 because that's what the spinner wheel actually fits into. So we hope we've given you some awesome ideas and you go try them out and enjoy this adorable stamp, which is great for Valentine's Day. So, all right, any other things? Just remember our weekend is out there as well. So we love seeing your registration forms coming in and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
It's cold. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Hi everybody, this is Adele from Just Say Scrap because April's in the other end of the camera and she won't come here and it's very cold outside. Huddle for coldness. Warmth, I mean, whatever.
And, ooh, there goes a block.
Your tongue will get stuck. Ooh.